Hey everybody, tonight we're going to be talking about possessive nouns and possessive pronouns. So let's get started. We use possessive nouns and pronouns when we want to talk about things that belong to someone or things that belong to something else. So let's take a look at a couple of pictures. This is Anne. This is a phone. In this picture, we see Anne holding the phone. The phone belongs to Anne. So this is Anne's phone. Here's another example. This is John. This is a pen. In this picture, we see John holding the pen. So this is John's pen. When we're talking about possessive nouns, if the possessive noun or the subject of the sentence is singular, then after the name, we add an apostrophe and the letter S. So for example, we have a picture of a cute little puppy here. The puppy's name is Sam. And this is his water. So we can say this is Sam's water. Notice that after the name Sam, we write an apostrophe and the letter S. When the subject of the sentence is plural, then we add the apostrophe after the S. So in this example, we now have two cute puppies or two cute dogs, and we have one bowl of water. So we can say this is the dog's water. Notice that after the subject dogs, we added an apostrophe. We can look at these side by side, and you can see an example when the subject of the sentence is singular. Sam has water. This is Sam's water. The dogs have water. This is the dog's water. So let's try this with some other pictures. After each picture, I'm going to have you or ask you to pause your video and write down the sentence. It's important to write it today because we really want to get practice using the apostrophe in the correct spot in our sentence. So in this picture, we have Jack, and he has a soccer ball. So go ahead and pause your video and write down the sentence that shows that the soccer ball belongs to Jack. Good. You should have written something like, this is Jack's soccer ball. Notice that after the name Jack, we have the apostrophe and the S. Let's try another. Here we have a picture of a woman named Lydia, and she is holding a glass. The glass belongs to Lydia. So go ahead and write down a sentence that shows the possession of the glass. You can pause your video and start it when you're ready to check your answer. Excellent. You should have written down, this is Lydia's glass. After the word or the name Lydia, you have an apostrophe and the letter S. Here we have a little girl. Her name is Julie, and she has a cat. Let's write down a sentence that shows that the cat belongs to Julie. Great. You should have written, this is Julie's cat. In our next example, our subject is going to be plural. In this picture, we have 3 kids that have the dog. The dog belongs to the 3 kids. So our subject of the sentence is plural. The subject is kids, and the object or the thing that they possess is the dog. Go ahead and write down the sentence that shows that the dog belongs to the kids, and pause your video. You may start your video when you're ready to check. Excellent. You should have written, this is the kid's dog. And be sure that you wrote the word kids with the apostrophe after the S. You should not have 2 S's. It's just the word kids and then the apostrophe. All right, let's take a look at another one. In this picture, we have players, soccer players, and it looks like they won a trophy. They're champions. So we want to write down a sentence that shows that the trophy belongs to the players. Excellent. You should have written, this is the players' trophy. And again, double check your paper to make sure that you wrote the word players and then the apostrophe after the S. All right, so we're going to move on now and talk a little bit about pronouns. And just to refresh our memory, previously we looked at this picture and we said this is Anne's phone. But if we didn't want to use her name, we could say instead, this is her phone. We use the possessive pronoun her when we talk about one woman. Here we had a picture of John and a pen, and we said this is John's pen. If we don't want to use his name, then we can use a word in place of that. We can use the pronoun his. This is his pen. And we use the pronoun his when we're talking about one man. So here is a little list or chart showing these possessive pronouns. On the left side, you see the pronouns that you would use if the pronoun is the subject of the sentence. And on the right side, you see the list of pronouns you use if the pronouns are showing possession. So they're called possessive pronouns. So if the subject is I, then we're going to use the word my, you, your, he, his, she, her, it, its, they, their, and then at the end, we and our. Notice that on this chart, there are no apostrophes and no extra S's added. We simply use the words that are on the right side of the chart to show possession. So we have the same pictures from before, but this time instead of using the name, we're going to change it to a pronoun. So remember that we had Jack, and if we look at our chart here, we can see which pronoun we could use. It's one man, so we would usually say he. If it's just a sentence about him, we could say he is a soccer player, he has an orange shirt, he is kicking the ball. But when we are using a possessive pronoun, we're going to use the word his. So the sentence would become, this is his soccer ball. Let's try another. Here we had the picture of Lydia. If we don't want to use her name, if we want to use a pronoun, we can look at our chart here. Again, if she is the subject of the sentence, we can just say things like, she is pretty, she has a beautiful smile, she's in the city, all right? But since we want to talk about how the glass belongs to her, I kind of gave it away there, we're going to use the possessive pronoun her. So go ahead and write down the sentence. This time, pause your video, write down the sentence, and then you can start it again. All right, excellent. You should have written down, this is her glass. Again, we have a picture of Julie, and she's holding her cat. So on our chart, again, we know we're going to use the possessive pronoun her. Go ahead and pause your video and write down your sentence. And that's right, the sentence should be, this is her cat. This is her cat. Right. Now we have the picture of the kids who have the dog. And if we were going to talk about them as the subject of the sentence, we would use the pronoun they. You could say, they are happy, they are sitting down, they are at the theater. But since it's a possessive pronoun that we're looking for, we're going to use the possessive pronoun their. So go ahead and write down a sentence that shows how the dog belongs to the kids. Wonderful. You should have written down, this is their dog. All right, I think this is the last example we have today. Again, we have the picture of the players who won the trophy. And again, the possessive pronoun that we're going to use is their. So please write down the sentence that shows that the trophy belongs to them. And the sentence should be, this is their trophy. Thank you so much for going through this video. This is definitely a subject that we should study more and practice more, but I hope this was a good introduction for you, and you can feel free to watch it again or ask questions in class, and we can practice this a lot more. Have a wonderful night.